This is ANN News Brief.
West African leaders have pledged $1 billion to combat the threat of Islamist militancy in the region in a bid to put an end to insurgency. The head of the regional economic bloc, Niger President Mamadou Sofo, said the bloc decided to contribute $1 billion to joint forces financing, reinforcement of the operational capabilities and state intelligence. Sofo announced at the end of the Economic Community Summit of West African State ECOWAS in Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso on Saturday that the pledge is to be funded from 2020 to 2024. The United Nations said in July, Islamist attacks were spreading so fast in West Africa that the region should consider bolstering its response beyond current military efforts. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah Al-Sisi has said over the weekend the allegations of corruption within the army and government were lies and slander. Video was shared online alleging graft in Sisi's government, where some army generals reportedly squandered billions of Egyptian pounds. Sisi rebuffed the claim at a youth conference in the capital Cairo in his first public response to the accusations. Al-Sisi, a former army chief who took power after the overthrow of the former Islamist president Mohamed Morsi in 2013, strongly defended the army and said he tolerated no corruption. He said the army is a very sensitive institution towards any inadequate behavior, especially if it was attributed to its leaders. We'll return after this message.
We are on the road every day, canvassing throughout Africa for news you really need. We follow this story everywhere, from every corner of Nigeria to the wide African expanse. We bring you what's making headlines. We connect you with news you can use. ANN, African News Network, in a truly African spirit.
South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has sent high-ranking emissaries to several African countries to assure them that their citizens are welcome in South Africa after xenophobic attacks. A wave of xenophobic violence rocked the country earlier this month, leading to destruction of properties and deaths. Ramaphosa has now sent officials to African countries to calm fears. Hundreds of economic migrants from neighboring Zimbabwe and Mozambique had fled from South Africa recently. Nigeria also airlifted 600 of its citizens back home after they were targeted in the violence. The president announced on Sunday the mission led by former Minister Jeff Radebe left South Africa on Saturday and is scheduled to visit Nigeria, Niger, Ghana, Senegal, Tanzania, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Zambia. Meanwhile, President Cyril Ramaphosa was booed on Saturday during his speech at Zimbabwe former leader Robert Mugabe's funeral in Harare before he apologized for the attacks. At the state funeral in Harare, Ramaphosa said, quote, "I stand before you as a fellow African to express my regret and apologize for what has happened in our country," end quote. That's in a news brief. Thanks for watching. For details on these and other breaking stories, visit our website, nnafrica.news. Conversation continues on our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at NNAfrica TV. I am Lucy Ademi.